Step into the world of Inspired by Cindia, a mental health life coach with a podcast dedicated to mental health and life coaching. Cindia is here to ignite your inner spark and accompany you on the path to embracing your authentic self. Together, you'll set out on a journey to uncover the stories of remarkable individuals who have left a lasting mark on her. So, brace yourself for a sprinkle of inspiration that will light up your life.
Welcome to Inspire by Cyndia, where my aim is not only to inspire you, but to help you shift your perspective. And today's guest is all about shifting perspective. She's a cancer survivor that went from facing adversities to shifting her mindset. And now she's a mindset coach and the founder of GPA. Her name is Genitta. Welcome, Genetta, to the show. And Genetta, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your journey?
Okay, so I am Genitta Pascal. I was born in the Commonwealth of Dominica. I was diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia. And after that experience, I came over to Simply Beautiful St. Lucia, where I currently reside and has served as a volunteer in many spheres as it relates to youth and sustainable development. I'm also a business administrator and currently a mindset shifting coach.
Okay, nice. I like that. You're a mindset coach. What drove you into becoming a mindset coach?
Well, what really drove me into becoming a mindset coach is really my experience with cancer and my experience within that dark place and allowing myself, well, really tapping into those core spaces that allowed me to make that shift and realize that, Janita, you are not a victim, you are a victor. So you should stop living from that victim space and start showing up as your true, authentic, capable self who can go out into the world to do exceptional things.
Yeah. How did you do that? Reminding yourself. How did that work? Can you walk us through the steps of having that mindset?
That was not an easy journey, I should share, before going into it and making it sound all glamorous. That was not an easy journey. I remember in 2020, I think for the past few years prior to 2020, I was able to put on a smile and make everything seem okay. And really, I was dying inside. And in 2020, I really had a collapse where I was diagnosed with depression by a medical practitioner. And I had to go through the whole route of counseling and learning in that new space, finding out more about myself, more about how my cancer journey had affected me. And I also tapped into self help material via YouTube, TikTok, just inspirational videos to keep me going, ensuring that I researched and recited positive affirmations, listening to therapeutic music. And up to this day, I still put on when I go to sleep because I am still impacted by anxiety. When I go to sleep, I turn on YouTube and I turn on um, the therapeutic music to be able to center myself and calm my mind. I was also able to watch a lot of podcasts like your own, and that would inspire me. Where there are guest speakers who would come on and tell you that this is part of your story, but this is not who you are. You are enough. You can do it,
Mhm.
and you can go out into the world and do great things. So this was what I still do all of those up to today because it's a continuous process of learning and growing. So this was how I was able to make that shift.
Nice. And what's one of the most important out of reading and listening to all those self-help practices? What's one advice that you still use today that you're so happy that you've came across?
Well, one of those that I am still happy that I was able to come across is, I would say, apart from the music, because up to this day, every night, this is how I take myself to sleep. Apart from that, is those inspirational YouTube videos and the podcasts that are uploaded on there.
Okay, okay. And what would you say to someone that's going through that now?
What I would say to somebody who is going through that situation or in that position or experiencing something of that sort at the moment is that you can overcome anything that you put your mind to. Those challenges should serve as your solid foundation, so that you ensure that you remain resilient to chase your goals and enjoy every success that life comes with.
You said you're a life coach now. Do you life coach women that've been through what you've been through on mindset?
It doesn't matter what challenge it is, because I didn't want to limit to only my cancer story or only a healthcare related story. There are so many challenges that we are all experiencing, and I believe that there isn't any one given solution for any one challenge. I think that maybe something I would have integrated into my daily patterns, somebody else who is maybe impacted by a challenge as it relates to family dynamics can maybe also do the same and get be inspired and get successful results to the end. So I did not only limit my interactions to individuals who were impacted by cancer or healthcare related challenges. And one thing that I would always say to these individuals is that this might be your experience. Yes, this is your part of your story. This isn't the entire story. You are the narrator in your story, and you should take those best next steps, tuning into who you are, tuning into the true reality, finding out your big why to remain resilient along your transformational journey.
Yeah, I like that. And that's where you found purpose? Um,
Yes.
yeah, I really like that. And someone that's afraid to share their story, what advice would you give them?
Oh, that was me once upon a time. I remember a few years ago, I spoke to a coach and I became very emotional on the call because that was the first time, with the exception of me speaking to a therapist, sharing my story with someone else, perhaps a stranger that I didn't know. Um, it takes courage, especially when you are impacted by a challenge that not many people understand, especially in the age of social media where we see that many people are impacted by challenges, and some individuals who may not necessarily understand the actual reality continue to make memes and continue to make fun of those stories. It is best in the first instance to speak to a trusted individual. It can be a family member, a close friend, and also a therapist that perhaps can understand your story better, get you to that place of comfort where one day perhaps you, not necessarily, you don't have to, like myself, come on and share my story on different platforms, but just be necessary to be open and own your story, own who you are, own the past, and own who you are becoming.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's so true. I don't wanna go back, but I just wanna ask a question. I'm just gonna go back a little bit. You said back in 2020 you were depressed, and I know in 2020 was around COVID time, so everyone was feeling a shift one way or the other.
Right.
Did how did that work out for you? Who was there for you? Because everyone was dealing with some kind of situation one way or the other. Did you have support?
Yes, I did have support. Luckily, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we were working from home, as
Yeah.
there was very there was a limitation on our movement within the country. So I remember I had this close friend. Again, I say find somebody, find your tribe, find somebody, a trusted individual you can speak to. And she
Yeah.
was able to come in to speak to me about how my day was going, what I was feeling, those emotions, and how I can take those those next steps.
Nice. So always find someone that you trust and listen to a lot of positive music,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah, I like that. Those that definitely can move you forward. Um, and so you're finding your friends, you're around the people that you trusted that hold you accountable and love on you.
Right.
What push you were those the same people that push you to start your business today?
Oh, yes. During the COVID 19, interestingly, I was going through depression. And during the COVID 19 pandemic, I was also going to school pursuing my master's degree.
Mm,
And my colleague, she called and she said, I need you to go down to the library. You have some documents to sign. And I was like, I didn't sign up for anything. I don't have anything that I know about. Why should I be going to the library during the lockdown for the authorities to see me? And she said, you really need to go now because soon enough, because we had a few hours that day before they would lock off everyone from the streets. And I went down to the library, and when I met the gentleman, he was standing there with papers, business registration. All I had to do was sign on the dotted line. So she listened to my story, she listened to everything that I wanted to pursue, my passion. She called the gentleman, and that day all I had to do was sign. So I was kind of like forced into becoming a coach.
mm, nice. And do you like that journey?
Oh, yes, I love the journey, just the experience, not necessarily the monetary value or the benefit that it brings, but just being able to help individuals go from one stage to another, to be able to find their voice, pursue their passion, overcome the challenges. I think that is the most enjoyable part of the journey for me.
Nice. Tell us about your business.
Okay, so the name of the business is GPA Inc., where we provide virtual coaching sessions to women who are ready to shift their mindset, overcome the challenge, and pursue those goals. Whatever those goals would look like for you, some people might want to open a bakery, some might want to start a podcast, some might want to open a luxury fashion store. So we take you through the entire journey where we also have an on hand mental health coach, because when we look at the journey of mindset shifting, most of those experiences stem from a traumatic experience, a childhood experience that sometimes you don't necessarily want to talk about. And you keep harboring all of those feelings and emotions. And sometimes I knew that was my experience. With the cancer journey, I did not want to pursue my goals because of my experience with cancer. And it was not until I was able to speak to a mental health coach,
Mm,
a therapist, where I was able to pour and share and learn new ways of doing things and new ways of showing up for myself, that I was really able to chase my goals.
nice. So it is important to get a coach.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like that. And people don't understand how important it is to invest in yourself.
Right.
And I always remind them it's important to invest in yourself. You got to get the help, get out of yourself. So that's really important. And what's the future plans for GPA?
Well, in the near future, we are hosting a live in person. This is the first time that we're doing live in person workshop on the island of St. Lucia. It's called Folks Get Up and Make That Shift. It's a goal setting edition.
I love that. I love that you're giving back and also having these future goals that's ready to impact the nation because you said it's online, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. What inspires you to continue these with your projects and everything that you have set forth?
Really and truly, what inspires me, and yesterday I sat with my coworker. We had to take the bus for some reason yesterday, and I just turned to him and I said, this is the bus experience. This is why I like taking the bus, because you tend to learn so much about individuals, what sometimes I don't know for some reason, especially in our local culture. We get on the bus and we just start to pour it all out. And sometimes that is where I find my inspiration, just from the stories of individuals what they're going through, how best can I help them, because I was there too. And I would not have been able to be who I am today if someone didn't pour into me or someone didn't help me along the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube at Genita Pascal.
Okay. And I have a question on your mantras. Do you have like personal mantras, personal things that you say to yourself to continue to keep moving past all your struggles?
Yes, I do. Have mantras which I was able to share just recently with a school that I was visiting. I am enough. My biggest one is I am a victor. I am not a victim. I don't like to see myself in that light. You are enough. You are resilient. Who you are, who you can put, who you put, you are who you tell yourself you can become. You are, you can become anything that you set your mind to. So these are the things that I wake up and tell myself today. This is part of your story. This is not your ending. Just little motivational things that keep me going along my daily.
Okay, that's awesome. And I thank you for sharing that with us. Is there anything you would like to share? Any inspiring words?
Well, the what I would like to share with individuals, again, I continue, sorry, to reiterate that you can shift that mindset that you currently adopted for whatever reason that was, and that's okay as well. Learning and growing is all a part of the process. So you can shift that mindset to overcome whatever challenge. It doesn't matter what that challenge look like for you. You can overcome that challenge, and you can chase whatever goal that you set your mind to once you are able to put in the work and take, it doesn't matter, small steps every day to ensure that you get to that destination, and also continue to celebrate the small wins.
Yes. Thank you for that. I thank you for being on my podcast, sharing your insight and inspirational quotes and mantras, and telling us that music and
Oh
movement
yeah.
is part of making us feel better, writing down and finding people like yourself in our life that can help us through this journey.
Thank you again.